Daniel Durst is
That's my name, by the way.
Daniel Durst is the worst. Daniel Durst is the worst.
Hey, how do you say that?
D-U-E-R-S-T.
Remember, Durst is the worst.
Durst the worst, bitch!
Durst the worst, bitch!
As y'all know, in the Campus Free Speech Act, in the Campus Free Speech Act, basically in order to,
so-called Free Speech Act.
Yeah, so-called, the Campus Appropriation of Free Speech Act is basically in order to assess whether or not the student, on the basis of like these super vague terms, whether they're obnoxiously loud during someone else's, like, fuck, I don't even know how to explain this thing. Oh my god. It's like total bullshit. It's total bullshit! In order to assess whether or not the student should continue with the disciplinary actions of being suspended for a minimum of 1 semester or expelled, the Campus Free Speech Act details that there will be a board of 13 members, each from, I believe it's 2 or 1 from each UW chapter, and then another member, I'm not sure. But the problem with that is it's not the students, right? It's not the students that are deciding whether or not free speech was being infringed or not. So one of our demands is that there is a student council, especially, you know, here's the thing with a lot of the demographics on other campuses is we have the most undocumented students here, and we have the largest population of students of color. So we
Taking it over.
It's ours. It's always been ours. So in order for like a bunch of like probably 13 random white people to decide whether or not we infringe on someone else's freedom of speech is obviously not in our like favor. So, and it's not even like justifiable for you to have a board of 13 people who we don't even know who they are to decide whether or not I should be suspended for 1 semester because I was obnoxiously loud at a rally. That's not how you fucking deal with your students at all. So what we're demanding, and I'm sorry I didn't have anything drafted for this, so I'm kind of just talking out my brain. What we're demanding is that the student council that decides whether or not the student infringed on these bullshit legal parameters that the university should not be making up and are already decided by the law that they want us to abide by so much. But, you know, the university should not be making these legal parameters for what is and what is not disruption of free speech. Especially when these people were appointed by Scott Walker. 16 out of 18 of them were appointed by Scott Walker are just a bunch of rich men with fat pockets who only care about their money. They don't get to decide whether or not I've infringed on someone else's right to free speech. Because their definition of free speech is bullshit. So let's deal with that. Anyways, as we said before, we had members in Chapman Hall trying to deliver a letter to the chancellor with these demands. By the way, this letter, in its more articulate fashion, can be found in our Facebook page at /YPRCMKE. But we do have our members here who have tried to deliver the letter, and they'll let you know what happened now. So if we can have them come up here.
Hello everybody. My name is Isa. I'm the chair of the Young People's Resistance Committee. I'm also a student here at UWM, just like a lot of y'all and everyone who went into the chancellor's office today. Moments ago, a group of 4 of us went in to the chancellor's office to try to speak to him about this letter I have in my hand. I obviously still have it in my hand, so that says a little bit about what happened. We went into the office and we're told that he was in back-to-back meetings. I told them that we were students of color, marginalized students who had concerns about our safety and well-being here on campus. And not only did they refused to let me talk to him, but I couldn't even set up an appointment there at the front desk. So let us not forget that this is an administration who has repeatedly let racist speakers come to our campus.
That's right.
We are marginalized students who deserve to feel safe on our campus while receiving an education just like everyone else. He couldn't even step outside of his 3 meetings that he had for 3 minutes to listen to me just read off our demands very quickly, or in between. Not only that, they called the police, and there were police in the office with us, and then they escorted us out of the building. So, like I said before, he refused to meet with us. He refused to address our concerns. So, we ended up going to student affairs, and they made us fill out a form, and they said that by that form, then they decide whether or not they want to meet with us. They told us that we will hear back from them in about a week, but we've gone this route. We know how it goes. It's just bureaucratic shit. They never end up getting back to us. So that's why we're here today. But I'm calling on you, Chancellor Monet, and the administration of Chancellor Monet to either stand along the students here when addressing our concerns and about our well-being and our safety, or stand against us. Because really that's what it comes down to. You either stand with us or stand against us.
Daniel Durst is
That's
the
my name,
worst.
by the way.
Daniel Durst
Right.
is the worst. Daniel Durst is the worst.
How do you say
Daniel
that?
Durst.
D-U-E-R-S-T.
Remember, Durst is the worst.
Durst the worst, bitch!
Subscribe, bitch.